One of our core values and key operating principles is safety at all times. Obviously, as you can imagine, being an explosives supplier, manufacturer and service provider within the mining and quarrying industry, safety is paramount in everything that we do. In Canada, particularly in Quebec, it's written into their law that an employee has the right to stop work. My head of health and safety at the time said, wouldn't it be great if we could make this work inside our business?
The stop work policy in its sort of general form is the ability and the authority for anybody at any time, if they feel unsafe for the job, to stop it there and then. So what they then can do is go and speak to a manager, a supervisor, and they'll sit down, they'll look at the task and see what they can do to make it safe.
We came up with a policy in 2017, and to reignite the policy, we created a stop work card. It clearly states that the bearer of the card is fully authorised to stop work with my signature. Having my signature on the card isn't an egotistical statement, it's basically a statement that says I have the authority from the boss to stop this job.
People on the quarries, people in the factories, people in the offices, every single person has that card, every single person has the ability to stop the job.
The morning of the shot when we arrived, we'd had rainfall, quite heavy, and the shot firer decided before we attempted to take the truck onto the position where the shot was to jump in his 4x4 and drive down and assess the situation before we even attempted to put the lorry on. So we did that firstly, and at that point it was decided amongst ourselves that it was not going to be possible because we would have got it stuck and damaged. We decided that it was just going to be a stop work policy there and then. We were actually backed up by the customer themselves. They have a similar sort of policy, I think, themselves, and was congratulated on doing so because they said it's exactly the actions that they would expect their own employees to do.
What I did with the very first incident was to phone the operator direct and congratulate him on stopping work. Ever since then, every manager, every supervisor has repeated that same process.
Whenever a stop work incident comes in, we have a sort of a data management system where it'll get recorded, it'll get lots of details of what it is, and we'll write down what learnings have been made from that, and that gets shared all throughout the EPC UK. And from there we're able to see if there's any trends, see if there's anything that we can learn from in other areas. We've seen good success in the last couple of years, so last year we had 5 instances of the stop work policy used, and this year so far in August we've already had 6 instances of the stop work policy being used.
It makes you feel really good really, because if you have got a problem and you don't feel the job's safe to do, I know I've got the backing of Ben.
Fundamentally, what we've changed in our culture is our reaction to an individual stopping work. By reinforcing it from my position as a managing director, we've found it's really gained traction, and it's really, following the pandemic, took our safety culture to a new level.